Hello, welcome back to Amandasaur Art. My name is Amanda and I like dinosaurs and art. Today I am transforming my journal into something that's a little bit more my style. Here is my gessoed journal. I gessoed it the night before with some clear gesso and some white paint just to cover up all the wording and everything. And now I'm going to tape off the sections I'm going to be painting. And I'm using my Bible as reference because I really like the look of that, and I use both of them together all the time, so I figured why not try to match them a little bit more. And so instead of doing it the exact same colors, I ended up using gold, white, tan, and pink. And the gold is to match more of the little bookmark string that you see sitting there, so that way it still matches that and it matches my Bible and it looks cute and everything. I didn't do a great job gessoing my journal. I wasn't really trying to make it perfect. I was just trying to paint, and so I ended up with a lot of texture on this journal. And so if you want texture, it's a great way to do it, gessoing messily and painting messily. You get some beautiful textures, and that's kind of what I played with, was the textures of all the paint. Like right here you could see me trying to thicken up some areas and make some of those lines more prominent. And if you're not going for that, you can try sanding the gesso after you use it to just smooth everything out completely, and so you have a nice smooth surface to work on. I did not have sanding paper, so I just went with it. I just went with the flow. I waited for my gold to be completely dry before moving on to the next color. I didn't need to do that, but I wanted to make sure my gold was dry before moving on to the second color I was going to do, just so I didn't risk making a mess, messing up that gold. I had already done a thumbprint test to see if it was dry, and I had to fix that. It's still kind of noticeable in my final result, but just so you know, try to make sure every layer is dry completely before moving on. With this next one, I just used the tan color and I mixed some of the gold in just to kind of match the colors just a little bit more, so everything's really cohesive and all matches together. And I started by painting the outlines of where my tape went, and then I filled in everything else. And after everything was filled in, that's when I really went in with making sure it was thick enough to cover everything and help get my textures going so everything has the same texture to it. I tried to add gold like stripes to it. I didn't like how that looked. It was too much for me, and so I added just a little bit and I painted over it, and so you could still see where I tried those lines, but they're not as prominent as they were initially. I did paint the oh man, what's it called? The other side, that right here, right where I'm painting right now, I painted that in the tan color just so it matched. I did not paint the back of the book. I just didn't feel like painting it. So right there is me taking off the Scotch tape, and I was surprised that the Scotch tape didn't peel up any of my other paint that I had on before, but it didn't, so very happy about that. You'll notice here I did not tape up the tan or the gold sections before moving on, and you don't have to. If you're really careful, you can paint nice straight lines. I was extra careful because I cannot paint straight lines, and I just didn't feel like taping those up. I was worried they weren't fully dry at that point, and I didn't want to risk peeling up the paint and having to go back over with more paint and have that back and forth process. If you're really careful, you can get away with this. I am not a careful person, so it took me extra patience just to be able to get this part right, and lots of smoothing over just to make sure everything was nice and smooth and how I wanted it. What are you doing? He did it. That was my brother mocking me for taking my time putting the next tape layer down. I thought it was really funny that he was mocking me and I was filming, and so I had to leave that part in. And now I am doing the last section, and I did tape it off because I let it dry for a much longer time. So I knew everything was completely dry, or at least super close to being completely dry. Now it's time for me to make the pink paint, and I wanted a blush pink, so I had to use very little tiny bit of red, lots of white. I also mixed in some of the tan color, and I think I did an itsy bit of the gold color, just to help everything kind of blend together, have all the same tones mixed in. And I really love the pink I came out with, and pink is my favorite color, especially blush pink, so I took my time making the perfect pink because that's exactly what I was looking for. I did not add any words or anything to my journal. I just left it plain with the shapes and all that, but you are more than welcome to, if you're updoing your journal, to add some fun words to it, some words of encouragement, or just a thoughts, or you know, whatever you want. You can add whatever you want to your journal, paint it however you would like. I don't like my handwriting, and I did not trust that I would make it cute, and I really liked how this came out, so I decided to just leave it with the colors, and I love it. Once you're finished, you will want to seal it in with something. I was just going to use some like Mod Podge, but I can't find my Mod Podge, so no Mod Podge for this guy. Is not sealed off yet. When I go to the store, if I'm able to get Mod Podge, I will seal it off that way. I did test opening it, seeing if it was still flexible, and the journal I have is still very flexible. Some of the paint is cracking where it opens, like, just so you know that it is cracking. I just want to say a special thank you to my mom for getting me this journal, and I hope you like how it came out now that I upcycled it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it inspired you to maybe upcycle your journal and make it more your style. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!